Hello and welcome, guys. Thank you for joining me again for another night of Facebook Live. Also, I want to recognize those that catch me on the replay from YouTube or SoundCloud. I am your host, Tricia Bray Smith, author, educator, and public speaker. It is indeed a blessing to be here with you tonight. As tonight, we're talking about danger ahead. Tonight, we are talking from the topic, danger ahead. So for all of you guys that are joining me tonight, please feel free to like and share this video. Again, for those of you that are logging on with me tonight, please go ahead and like and share this video so that others that are connected on your timeline can join in the conversation with us as well tonight. So we are talking about danger ahead. And I think it necessary now more than ever to talk about this subject because, there are some dangers that we automatically perceive. We perceive it automatically. We know that when we see certain things or when we hear certain things, there's an alarm that goes off in our mind, and it automatically tells us, that that's a danger zone. That's a danger zone. But there is also some dangers that are more common than that sometimes we miss it. We take for granted, or we forget to take into consideration that these dangers exist. And for that being said, tonight we're going to talk about it. We're going to really lay it out on the table tonight. And so as you guys, I'm trying to give you time to log on while I get these links in the comment section for you guys as well. Hey Trina, how are you tonight, babe? You right on time with me tonight. And Diane, I see you coming on. Glad that you guys are here with me. I don't know exactly how this is going to go tonight, but I'm going to give it the best shot that I can give. Also, in the links, you'll see my website. Feel free to visit my website frequently. I've updated it today, so there's updated information on there. Also, if you haven't got your tickets for the Worthy of Abundance Summit hosted by August Crenshaw, I put that link there. So you can support me and purchase your ticket using that link. Also, I put the link for our YouTube channel. So for those of you hey, Keisha, I see you coming on. For those of you that may miss our lives here on nightly at 10 o'clock, don't fret. I upload these to YouTube just for you. So go ahead and go over to YouTube, like and share, and like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I really appreciate that. Guys, I appreciate you guys being here with me night after night and showing me so much love. It does make these broadcasts just so much better for me. They just make it so much easier for me to sit here and actually know that I'm having a conversation with you guys. And tonight is just one of those topics. Let's see. Tonight is just one of those topics that it's not easy. It's not an easy topic. It's not easy for me to sit here and to discuss these things with you, but it is necessary. And guys, I apologize. I didn't have my earphones on, and so I heard the feedback once I put those on. So hopefully we got that taken care of now. And so it's not an easy topic, but if you guys would just bear with me just a little bit, I'll try not to hold you very long. And hey, Rita, I see you on too. Thanks for giving me a shout out and saying hello. Please like and share this broadcast tonight, as it's important that this word gets out. So nevertheless, danger ahead. And we know that in our little town, in our area, there has been alerts or warnings of danger. Alerts or warning of danger from people. We have people that are being murdered and their murders aren't being solved. We're having houses that are being broke in and people's possessions. Thank you, Brittany, for coming on and sharing the video. I appreciate that, doll. We have people's houses being broke into. We have children that are being raped and molested and different things like this. And so automatically, you know, when these signs we see posted and they're letting us know that there is danger ahead, that we're in the midst of danger. But guys, there are some places where danger is lurking and we're missing the signs. And once we find the signs, we are not sounding off the warnings. And this is where I want us to really think about the things that are going on in our world, not only in our world, but sometimes in our own households, in our own communities, in our own neighborhoods, in our own churches. Danger is real. Danger doesn't have a particular face. Danger doesn't have a particular address. It doesn't have a particular wage in which it earns its wages, a particular dollar sign. Danger lurks sometimes in our own backyard. And I come today to sound the warning for us. Did you know that more dangerous than a murderer on the street is our own little girls with low self-esteem that will make the choice to give their precious jewels away for nothing, in hopes of being loved, in hopes of being wanted or desired, in hopes of finding a place to belong. It's danger in that. Danger in that a young lady or a young man would give his body away or give her body away with man after man or woman after woman. It's danger in that. And we're missing these signs. We're missing these warnings. We're asleep. We're churching. More dangerous. More dangerous, because when they do that, and there's particular behaviors that go along with that, there's also consequences that comes along behind that type of behavior. So it's danger ahead. And we've sat in silence. We failed to sound the alarm. We failed to reach out. And we're just thinking that everything is okay. So then on the flip side of that, we have diseases that are beginning to take over our communities. We have babies born to people, and we don't even know who their parents are. We don't even know who the fathers are. We have babies born with all kinds of deformities and things like that because of the things that they put in their bodies and during conception and things like this. So the behaviors are unhealthy. The sexual behaviors that we see, and it's not only our young people. So let's get that straight too. It's not only our babies. Some of us is some of us. Some of us is some of our parents. So these are things that are real. And they're happening more often than the murders on the street. They're happening more often than people breaking into houses and stealing the things that you worked hard for. It's happening more often than that. So we really have to hone in on the dangers ahead. Because I don't know of anyone with a healthy self-esteem or a healthy body image or a healthy mindset that would participate in activities or participate in behaviors that lead to slow deaths. Now, I don't know if anybody who have just had sex and just died overnight just from having sex. But I do know that there are sexually transmitted diseases that result from unhealthy sexual practices. And sometimes it takes years and years and years and years for it to show up, but eventually it shows up. And being that we're in a society that makes sex seems like any type of sexual behavior or sexual encounters are okay. It seems good for a man to lay with this woman and that woman and this woman and that woman, and they're the big shot, and they're living it up and have a baby here and a baby there. It's good now. It seems good for that young woman or that young girl that is looking for self affirmation to lay with this man and that man and sleep with this one and that one and let her body be misused. And as a result, she's just giving herself away, and instead of solving or resolving an issue that she has emotionally, she continues to drown herself in a situation that now 20, 30 years pass. And those men that were big shots are now living with HIV and AIDS. And then they go out and grab the young ones. Because they used up to everybody else, they going and grabbing the young ones, and now they're imparting that into the young generation. And so for a young lady who don't know who she is and trying to find herself and maybe have to support a habit, now she's prey to this man with all these infections. And so then that imposes upon our culture, it imposes upon our children, our unborns, on those to come. And now we have young men and young women whose lives are being torn apart because no one failed to sign the warning. No one failed to sound the horn or sound the alarm that there's danger ahead. There's danger ahead, guys. We're missing it. We missed it because in our mess we could sit silent, or so we think. In our mess, nobody ever really talked about it. We just called her loose, or we just called him a dog, the way we label things. We're living in a time now that it's time out for playing the game. It's time out for thinking that the things that we do are okay. And the reason that so many of us as older women and men cannot speak up, or that we refuse to speak up, is because either we're there doing it with them, or we ain't overcome it ourselves. We still have issues with it. There is danger ahead, guys. And I want you to know that it's not just in our young women and our young men. Because when I look and I see and I hear about all these older women, these older generations, us and them, our mama and them, 40, 50, 60 years old, still chasing a pecker around town, something is wrong with that. It's danger in that. We got husbands at home. We got families at home. Tammy, I see you, baby. It's real. You waiting for somebody to come from out of town so that you can, get served or whatever it is that they call it now. I don't know. Is something wrong with that? You women in the church, you holy and righteous and all that. We ought to be sounding the alarm for our young men and our young women, but we can't sound the alarm because the alarm need to be sound for us. It's danger ahead. People right now are living and dying with HIV and AIDS. Living and dying with it. Forget about COVID. We forget about COVID, but what about these other things? And knowing that they are infected, they will infect somebody else. Your daughters, your sons. They looking for them. Your seed. So yeah, it's danger ahead, guys. And I don't know what better way to say it. Because when we look at it, yes, we did the best we could raising what we have. Did we do everything right? I beg to differ. But what we can do, as they are trying to find their way, is to sound an alarm. Because in our day, it was okay to sleep with any and everything. It was in our day, we called it a sugar daddy. It was okay to go get one of those. But did you know that nowadays sugar daddies got a little bit more than sugar right now? And they looking for your sons and daughters. The cougars, the older women that's looking for these young men that's praying with them. They looking for your sons right now. And no, we can't stop nothing. And I'm not saying that at all. But what we can do is use this thing right here that we use to put down and criticize everybody else's sons and daughters and start sounding the alarm. Start sounding it. So that eventually some eyes can become open. And eventually that little girl will know she don't have to give her body away to feel desirable or to feel like she belongs or to find herself. Or so that young man can know he don't have to go looking for that mama that wasn't there to take care of him, to give him everything. That they are worthy and that they are valuable. And that the things that they do, they're making the choices based upon this thing right here that is not developed yet. And so many of us are sitting at home in our comfort. We're sitting at home, we're comfortable. Because we can see everybody else's son and daughter doing any and everything, and we talk about it. Not in hopes to help them, but in a way to criticize and judge and say, look, she just like her mama and them was. Her mama wasn't nothing. She ain't gonna be nothing. Or he just like his daddy. His daddy slept with everything. He had kids all over town. But guys, now it's time to stop with all that. We need a different agenda. Now it's time to understand how dangerous the road ahead really looks. We have kids being born addicted because mamas are addicted. And with those addictions come behaviors. With those addictions comes diseases and illnesses that sometimes we never overcome. We never overcome it. And with those babies being born that way, where do you think it's going to end? And what I want to know, and why I have you here with me, is I want to know why we so silent. Us Christian women, us Christian men, us young girls, us young women, why are we so silent when it comes to really giving people positive words of encouragement and letting them know that they're valuable and letting them know that there's a better way, or letting them know that you can choose to do what you want to do, but at the end of the day, there's danger ahead. And if you miss the sign, then there may be no coming back. There may be no coming back from this. But then they see us chasing pecker all over town, coming in from out of town and chasing it and everything else. They see us, and I'm shaking my head, so I know they shaking theirs too. Where are they gonna learn from? And how dare we be 40, 50, 60, 70 years old and still hadn't figured out, still can't love ourselves, still can't think enough of ourselves to stop giving ourselves away. Don't you know if that man wanted you, he'd have married you 50 years ago and he'd have been with you? You got a husband at home. And if you chose not to have one at home, that's your business. But I'm telling you, while you out chasing it, you may be chasing a little bit more than you bargained for. Because those same older men that we out chasing and we doing this and that, they looking for our sons and our daughters. Those same older women looking for those younger men, they looking for our sons and daughters. And I can guarantee you that anything that's been steeping and creeping and ditching and diving for the last 30, 40 years, they doing all that with something else along with them. It's something more than just money coming along with it. So yeah, it's danger ahead. And sorry, I have to be the one to bring the news to you. But at the end of the day, if we don't use our voice for something other than gossip and something other than judging folks and something other than putting our babies down, then we're not going to solve anything. It's not going to solve anything. So I'm sounding the alarm. And for every young baby that listens to this, and you got issues, you're not the only one. Don't you go drown in your hurt. Don't you go drown in your pain and your journey to find yourself, listening to folks criticize you because of something you done. Don't go and hide. Because I'm telling you, I'm one that's not going to talk about you. I'm one that's not going to put you down. All I'm going to do right here, right now, is just sound the alarm and let you know that if you keep doing what you're doing, there is danger ahead. And I don't want to see you fall in that trap. I want to see you live a good, long, healthy life. If that boy wants you, if that man wants you, he'll think enough of you to marry you. He don't have to call you out by night. He don't have to sneak and hide behind the corner. He don't have to talk down to you. He don't have to put his hands on you. If he really wants you, you're going to be good enough for him just the way you are. You don't have to go smoking it up. You don't have to go drinking it up, being out of your head and out of your mind. You don't have to spend all yours on him. It's danger in all of that. Because if he's doing it to you, he's doing it to 100 of others, I can almost guarantee you. And that can go from the same thing with that young man who's the good guy and feel like the good guys can't win. All I'm going to say is lies. If she can't appreciate you for being good and going to work and doing whatever it is you need to do and that you're trying to do to build a family and a good, healthy household, she ain't for you. If she got to sleep around and do all this and cause confusion, she just may not be for you. Think enough of yourself to want better. Think enough of yourself to think beyond right now. Get yourself around people that are doing and going places that you desire to go. Because tonight I'm sounding the warning. There is danger ahead. And many of us have been there. Many of us are there. Many of us have watched our loved ones go down paths that we know that are dangerous. We know that it leads to death. We know that it leads to the jailhouse. We know that it leads to the drug house, but yet we fail to sound the alarm. And we watch them day after day after day after day, slowly killing themselves, slowly making bad decisions that's going to impact the entire rest of their lives. And we sit in silence until it's time to get with that sister or brother and sit and gossip and criticize about it. Because a young mind is not quite developed, they can't think and process and rationalize many of the choices that they make. They can't see the consequences. They just see the right now. But for those of us that are older and supposedly wiser and better and overcome some things, we ought to be able to sound the alarm or two every now and then. And many of us are in positions to where we can work with young kids. We're around young kids. We're around young women. We work with them. It doesn't take but a moment to establish a relationship and to throw a nugget here and there without imposing too much within their lives. It doesn't take but a moment to tell a young girl how beautiful she is. It doesn't take but a moment to tell a young man, hey, you're going to be something. You can be anything you desire to be. You can go to that college. You can create that job. You can do all of that. It doesn't take but a moment, because in reality, sometimes that's the only thing that's missing that's going to make the difference in somebody's life. I wished, thinking back 25 years ago, that I had somebody to say those words to me. I wish that I'd have had a dad to just say, I'm proud of you. I wish that I had mama to just wrap her arms around me and as that young woman, and she did the best she could to just say, you gonna really be something. Yeah, they love us. We love our babies. But when our words are silent, sometimes that word is the missing link that our babies need to pull them out of situations or snatch them out of situations that they feel like they're held captive to, and that there is no way out because they're not worthy. So young people, if you're listening tonight, and I don't know if you are, but even if you never hear anything else that I ever say again, even if you don't care to hear what I have to say, there is danger ahead. And if you stay on the path that you're on, thinking that there's nowhere else to turn or that there's no way out, I'm here to tell you that you hold the answers to everything. There are solutions. There is a way out. But if you continue on the path, there's danger ahead. And I'm sounding the alarm right now tonight. I'm sounding the alarm right now tonight. Because those that are stringing you along and everything, making everything look good and it sound good, and you still coming out empty, and that little nagging in you that's saying you can do better than this, you don't belong here, you need to stop. That's your conscience. That's your creator letting you know that you don't belong there. And as long as you can hear that voice that lets you know that there's a way out. But I'm sitting here tonight to tell you there is danger ahead. What are you going to do with the warning? And for those of us old folks that know better, same goes for us. Continue to play if you want to. Continue to play if you want to. Now, I use just one example. I used the sexual example. I used the addictions example. Right? But we know, and that little old voice that tells us, stop doing that, whatever it is, that's your creator. That's your conscience. And we continue to do it thinking that, oh, it's okay because everybody else is doing it. I'm telling you, tonight, danger lurks ahead. So what are you going to do with the warning? Brittany says, been there, done that, and over that. We hope so, baby. We hope so. All of us don't get out okay. All of us don't get out okay. Some of us barely escape with our life. Some of us will live with it for the rest of our life. Some of it affects generations to come until someone is finally born to break the cycle. So I appreciate you guys that have stayed here with me. And this is no joke. And I apologize for holding you longer than I wanted to, but there's danger ahead, guys. And it's time to start sounding some real alarms. Gossiping and criticizing and all that, that's not an alarm. That's you joining in because you're not resolving anything. So let's sound the alarm. And we do that with these words, being an encouragement, dropping those nuggets when we're in the presence of those young ones that need to hear something positive and need to know that regardless of whatever it is that they have going on, that there's still value in them. I appreciate you guys joining me tonight. I am your host, Antricia Bray Smith, author, educator, and public speaker. Good night, everybody.